Oh, Rita, are you there? I have a little something that I'd like to talk to you about. I was just wondering what you thought you were doing when you came over to our house and didn't even bring us any gifts. You're my brother's wife, and you didn't even think to bring us sweets when you visited our house where we live with our parents?
Oh, hello, Carrie. I'm sorry if there was any kind of mix-up. I didn't bring you any food from the places I'd visited now. But I did make some handmade treats that I brought, and which your mom seemed to like. That's why I made even more of them and brought them over.
Excuse me? Are you seriously trying to pass those cheap little cookies off as anything special? I threw them all away without even tasting one.
Wait, what? You threw all of those cookies away?
That's right. We don't eat pathetic little things like that. We're way above that. You do know that both my parents run their own companies, right? We're kind of a big deal in these parts, got it? My parents made sure to only give me the highest quality food ever since I was little.
I don't think there is anything wrong with enjoying fancier snacks or anything like that, but I cooked those cookies for you myself, and you just threw them all in the garbage.
Well, duh. Where else are you supposed to dump your trash but in a trash can?
How could you say something like that? What's the matter with you?
This is the problem with my brother marrying some country nobody like you. You really don't know how the real world works at all, do you? Next time you show up to my parents' house, you better bring us some real high quality stuff, and you better leave the price tag on so I can check. If you don't, I don't care what it was that you brought. It's going straight in the trash.
Hey, Dean, are you there? We seriously need to talk about those cookies I baked. I'm afraid that I should have just listened to you telling me that it was a bad idea to do that for your family. Even your sister said they were too beneath her and threw them all away.
Well, I tried to warn you. I told you not to bother doing something handmade for the family, and that they would have preferred to get something fancy that you bought. Of course, my mom was the only one who had anything nice to say about your cookies, but that was only because she was being polite. The next time you show up to my parents' place, just use your head a bit more and buy something nice for them.
But I don't have the kind of money to drop on the kind of snacks that would be fancy enough for your family. Besides, I worked really hard on those cookies, and it was a really complex recipe.
What do you mean you don't have any money to spend on a real gift for my family?
I already told you that we are barely within our budget as things stand right now. I think you really need to go and figure out what you're going to do about your business.
Oh, trust me, I know what I'm doing with it, okay? But I can't move forward with anything until I've completely rebuilt it from the ground up. I don't think you really have any clue how hard I'm working to try and save that business right now. I'm working from sunup to sundown, and you still have the gall to say that I'm not doing enough.
I'm sorry, Dean. That really wasn't what I was trying to say. I wasn't trying to put any blame on you. It's just that, well, I think you've been going out a lot recently, right? I just mean that since you have seemed to have so much free time to be doing that, I assumed you'd already done what you needed to do. And if you have all that money to be going out all the time, I would really appreciate it if you could give me some more money to spend on things for the house. Because right now, I'm the only one who is putting their own money into those kinds of things, and that's why things are so tight right now.
This just proves that you really have no clue at all what you're talking about. I'm not going out drinking so I can party and have fun. Those are important business dinners. And it takes time to do what I'm trying to do. So I'm sorry. You think things are tough for you. You're just gonna have to deal with it.
But, Dean, I just said that I've already been putting so much of my own money into our expenses already. I'm not trying to pin the blame on anyone. I am just saying that I'm working with a very tight budget right now. And on top of that, I'm still sending money to your family every month as well.
Excuse me? Just what is that supposed to mean?
I'm talking about $1,500 I send to your family every month. And from what I understand, they're not a place where I can just stop sending that money. So that's another reason why things are so tight around the house. And that's why I don't understand why I am expected to bring such expensive treats to your family when I'm already doing that for them.
Is that supposed to be some kind of joke? You can't stop sending them money. Then they'll all know that we're facing some kind of financial troubles.
But don't you think that it would be better if they did know? I mean, it's a lot of money for us to send to them. But for your family, it's gotta mean almost nothing, right? Besides, the whole reason you started sending them money in the first place was just so that you could try and show off your wealth, right?
What did you just say to me?
Well, tell me, Dean, am I wrong about that? It was fine when your business was doing okay, but now that we've fallen on hard times, we have to think about how we spend our money. And I just don't think that it's realistic to want to keep sending money the way we are.
But my parents raised me, and this is my way of paying them back for all of their hard work. Not to mention the fact that I was only able to start my business because my parents gave me the capital I needed to get it off the ground. That's the real reason why I'm sending them the money. Just don't go labeling my actions when you don't even understand the deeper meaning behind them.
And again, Dean, I think it's really great that you want to do that. Admirable even. But the fact of the matter is that we can't afford to keep paying that, and meanwhile, your family can afford not to get that money. Not to mention the fact that I'm the one earning all the money that is being sent to them. I don't think you should feel any shame in telling them that you have to stop for a while until you get your business back on track.
I've had just about enough out of you. Do you have any idea the kind of shame that would bring to me? Not only would I stop giving my family money, but they would know that my business is in trouble. But everyone would stop respecting me and I'd have nothing.
I really feel like you're blowing this all out of proportion.
Well, either way, we can't stop sending the money, because my parents say they're using it to help send Carrie to college. She wants to go study abroad and do internships, and she needs money for all of these things. So we can't just stop. It's not like she's just squirreling it all away either. She's using that money.
Dean, I'm really happy that your parents are using our money to support your sister, but I think my point still stands. Maybe at the very least, we could just reduce the amount of money that we're sending to her. It might be a good chance for Carrie to start working and earning her own money.
She doesn't have time to find a job. She needs to be studying, and only that. How dare you even suggest trying to make my poor little sister work while she's a student? You just need to learn to shut up about things you don't know about, and let me handle this. Just keep focusing on earning money until I fix up my business and make everything right again.
Hey, Carrie. I was wondering if I could talk to you for a moment. I was just curious about what the meaning of this letter from you is. I opened it and there were divorce papers inside.
Oh, you mean it finally arrived? Well, since you know what they are already, I don't need to bother explaining. Just go ahead and sign them for me, okay? Then send them back there and Dean and I will take them to the courthouse to have them processed. After that, you can pack them and leave.
Wait, what is all this? What are you talking about?
Do you need me to spell this out for you or something? You are not good enough to be my brother's wife. So I am going to be needing you to be divorced, and so I could get rid of you.
You can't be serious about this, Carrie.
Of course I am. I never liked you from the very first day that I met you. A lowly country girl like you has no right getting with anyone from our prestigious family. And I realized that I had to do something the last time you brought over those horrible cookies. I knew that if that was going to be your way to show your respect to my family, then you truly have no place here.
And so that's why you sent me divorce papers?
That's right. I'm tired of you holding my brother back all the time and burdening him with your problems. My brother is brilliant and could do whatever he wants. That's why he runs his business so well. In fact, that's another reason why I knew I had to get rid of you. Dean's business should be doing amazingly, and yet for some reason, it doesn't seem to be growing at the rate that it should, which means that someone has to be holding back its developmental potential, and that person can only be you.
Are you kidding me with this right now?
Well, obviously how well a couple is doing ripples out and affects other parts of their lives. which means that if Dean had a better wife, then his company would be doing better too. The only factor holding back Dean's potential is you. That's why you are going to divorce my brother, leave our family, and never come back. Do you really even think Dean would miss you if you were gone? I've already found a great replacement for you.
You found your brother a new woman who you think he should marry? I don't understand how you could go and do this to me.
Well, the last time he came over to visit, I introduced Dean to a good friend of mine who I thought would be the perfect match for him. She's young and pretty and smart, everything that you're not.
Why are you being so mean to me? What did I ever do to you?
I wasn't finished. The thing is that the two of them are already dating now. I've heard all about it from my friend. Apparently, Dean works quite quickly when the right person comes around.
Wait, no, that can't be right. You mean not only did you try to introduce your brother to someone new, but now the two of them are dating?
So you're finally starting to piece it together now, huh? But that's right, my brother is sick and tired of dealing with a no-good wife like you. That's why you need to hurry up and end this sham of a marriage. You need to set my brother free so that he can finally be the person he always meant to be. You need to free Dean from you, Rita.
Well, then I guess that means I won't have to be sending you any more money then.
What are you talking about?
I mean that I've been sending your parents $1,500 every month. Not Dean, just me. And I've heard that your parents have been putting that money towards helping you stay in college and be able to focus on your studies. But since I'm breaking up with my husband, I guess you'll have to learn to take care of yourself.
Wait just a minute there. I seriously have no idea what you're talking about. I know that I get money every month, but all that comes from my brother. He sends my parents that money every month so that he can repay them for all the hard work they did raising him. Where do you get off trying to take credit for that?
I get off taking credit for the money because your brother's company is actually deep in the red and in serious trouble.
Wait, what do you mean his company is in trouble? I don't understand.
I'm afraid that your brother isn't the business savant that you think he is. In fact, I don't think you know anything about the real reason why his business hasn't been growing the way you think it should have been. But I'm afraid it's not just stagnating. It's already on the verge of bankruptcy, with very little sales and huge overhead. That's why I've been the one sending your parents money from my own earnings.
No, you're lying to me. That can't be true. There's no way that my brother's company is about to declare bankruptcy. And Dean has money. He's taking my friend out on expensive dates and everything.
Is he really spending all that much money on her?
That's right. Ever since they started seeing each other, she tells me all about how Dean has been taking her out to the most expensive restaurants in town. Plus, he's buying her gifts like purses and clothes and even jewelry. How can he say that he doesn't even have money?
He's even buying her expensive gifts like that? Just how much money has he been hiding from me? He's been telling me that I have to send his parents money because he never has enough to afford to.
I don't believe you. There's no way that you've been sending the money this whole time. And I don't believe what you said about Dean's business either. You're just upset because you're getting divorced and that's why you're trying to scare me. Well, if you have time to make up nonsense like this, then why don't you just sign the divorce papers already?
I heard from Carrie that you signed the divorce papers. Something to the courthouse yourself. Given me so much trouble over the years, but you have to be honest. Didn't see us ending up like this.
Well, I heard quite a bit from your sister as well. Like, about how you've been running around with one of her friends behind my back. And while you've been having me send your family money every month, you have been sending her every cent you have on her. You're just horrible, Dean.
Oh, jeez. Is this what you want to talk about right now? Well, I don't care. My new woman is cute and amazing. Better than you in every way. I don't care who I date, really, as long as they're a good wife.
You seriously need to give it a rest already. You have been making me work myself to the bone to provide for your family while you've been carrying on a affair. And taking this girl out expensive restaurants and buying her expensive gifts. Just where were you getting all that money from?
It's money that I made from my job and that I can spend however I like. Thank you very much.
Well, this just settles it for me. I'm glad that we're getting a divorce. I can't believe I let myself pour my hard-earned money into your family while you did this to me.
Oh, trust me, the feeling is mutual. This divorce can't happen fast enough. In fact, I think that I finally see a light at the end of the tunnel for my business, too. Once I get you out of my life, I'll be able to think much more clearly with my new wife by my side.
You're really going to pretend like it's just now that your business is turning around? Your business has been doing well for a while now, hasn't it? That's why you can afford to go out so much, and that's why you can afford to spend so much on this new girl.
I don't need to explain anything to you. We're getting divorced, remember?
That's right, we are. I just hope you can afford the lawsuit I'm about to serve you with. Not to mention the splitting up of our assets that's going to happen. You do realize that I'm going to take half of everything you own, don't you? And that's to say nothing of the legal fees you'll pay for your affair.
You've always been a selfish woman. Now it's just in full display.
Well, you were the one who went and cheated on your wife. And to think that even your sister was on this with you, you have no idea the stress that you have been putting on me. But I am going to hire a good lawyer and make sure you pay for what you've done.
I doubt that. You don't even have the money to hire a bad lawyer. Besides, what lawyer would want to take a case from some nobody from the countryside?
Oh, you don't need to worry about that at all, Dean. You see, I'm friends with one of the wives of your most important business partners. She knows a ton of good lawyers and told me that if I ever need help, I just need to ask her.
Wait, the wife of one of my business partners?
That's right. We bonded over being the wives of the CEOs running their own company, so we became friends quickly. Not that you've ever noticed with how little attention you pay to me, but I already have a lawyer in mind who would be willing to represent me.
But wait, if you sue me for all of this, then everyone is going to know about our divorce. If that happens, then everyone is going to know about what I did that led to it. And just who is this friend of yours, anyway, huh?
Aw, you mean you don't want everyone to know about the kind of person that you really are? Because I don't mind letting them know in the slightest.
Wait, no, let's just talk this out a little more.
Anyways, I've already sent out the divorce papers, so there is no going back now. Good luck with that new girl of yours, Dean. You really are a horrible woman, do you know that? How dare you try and take half of my brother's money in this divorce? I am well within my rights to do. Thank you very much. Besides, your brother has been enjoying more than half my hard-earned money for a long time. Oh, please, don't get acting as if you even made all that much to begin with. The scale is totally different, but whatever. It's not like it's even a big deal for Dean. He can make all that money back in an instant. Are you really sure about that? Of course I am. I'll admit I was worried when I asked Dean if it was true that his business was in danger of bankruptcy, and he said yes. But then he explained to me that he had it fixed and everything was back on track. So now I know that Dean is going to be just fine, and soon he's going to be married to my friend, and there's nothing you can do about it. Oh, really? So then he is still seeing her? You may have felt like you had some power because you were sending my parents money every week, but you forget that I already come from a rich family and that losing your money means nothing to them. The fact that you could really thought that you could try to lord that over me just shows how little you really know about how things work. Both my parents are CEOs, and I have a brother who stared bankruptcy in the face and conquered it. No one is going to miss you once you're gone, Rita. I see. So basically, you're telling me that you have no idea what's really going on here. Like, about how your family is going to file for bankruptcy this year. Oh, just give it a rest already. And as for Dean, while his company may be recovering, I don't think it's quite as stable as you might think. In fact, I hear that he's been losing client after client, so it may be too early for any of this. I seriously have no clue what you're talking about at all. How do I know that you're not just making all of this up? What would I have to gain from lying about any of this to you? I've only ever told you about the truth. I did about $1,500 a month too, remember? In fact, the reason that your brother was having me pay your parents instead of him was because he knew that he couldn't afford to keep paying them that much. But when I would talk to him about it, he would even allow me to reduce the amount I was sending. But even your parents reached out and said that things were tough for them and that they couldn't yet have us stop sending that money. Did they really say that to you? Apparently, things are going so well for them financially speaking. I hear that at this point, all your parents really have going for them is their savings. So, I wonder, what's going to happen now that I've stopped sending money? You're lying to me! There's no way that my family's company is going to fall apart. You're making all of this up. Believe me or not, it doesn't make a difference. But at least they'll be able to rely on your brother for financial help, right? That's right. Dean will be able to take care of them. Except, what was that you mentioned about him losing clients? Was that really true as well? It's just what I've heard through the grapevine. But since we're not married any longer, I guess I can't say for sure. I only know what I know from the wife of one of his clients. But she would know better than that about anyone else you could hear from. I don't understand. How could this be happening? I thought my brother said his business was back on track. He's just about to marry my friend and you're telling me he's on the verge of bankruptcy again? You better have a little family meeting and see if you all can't figure out what to do. I know that you still have a year left before you can graduate, but who is going to afford your tuition now? You might need to think about finding a job to support your family, Rita. No way. I'm not going to find a job. I was going to take a year off. It's not fair. How could this be happening to me? You were going to take a year off from your studies? That's right. I've been studying for a while now, and I want a little break. So, I'm not going to do anything but relax and travel for a year so that I can come back to school refreshed. I'm not sure if you'll be able to do all of that now. But it's not fair. It's what I want, and I always get what I want. Well, good luck with that. It wasn't long after that Carrie's parents both had to declare bankruptcy. In the aftermath, it turned out that part of their severe debt was coming from the amount of money that Carrie was using for herself to support her lavish lifestyle. And as more and more clients decided to stop working with Dean, things weren't looking good for him either. The money for Carrie's tuition quickly dried up, and she realized that she would have no choice but to at least start working part-time. She complained the whole time about how working was beneath her and how she was an heiress, but her pride was clearly hurt, and before long, she stopped showing to class at all.
Thank you for watching all the way until the end. If you felt good after watching this video, please like the video. If not, please leave a comment and give us your feedback. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Your comments and likes help this channel grow.